Okay, hello everyone. I would just like to wish everyone today lots of love and lots of blessings. I am Gretchen, and this is day 3 of finding your purpose. I'm going to try to find my purpose in 30 days. So I hope that you will come along on this journey with me, and you will also know if you're where you want to be or if you need to be finding another purpose within 30 days with me. Okay, so I've done 2 videos so far. My second video is taking forever to upload on YouTube. It's been at like 99% for like an hour. So I'm sure it'll be loaded up soon. I woke up this morning, as I said on my previous video, and I had so much on my mind to share. And I feel like this is God, the Holy Spirit, whatever it is that you believe, that is giving me this insight. And I am supposed to make myself uncomfortable on a YouTube video and share it with you all. And that is what I'm doing. I actually got showered. I got ready for this video. And I'm like, Lord, what am I doing? But I just feel like I'm following his lead. I don't know what this means. I don't know what's happening, but I am just doing what God said. And I just thank you so much for being here with me so I can try to figure this out with you all. Okay, so on my first video, we discussed, basically just the intro of what led me to decide that I might need to either be, at work with another job or in another job or something completely different from the two. I'm not really sure yet. So that, it's been a sequence of events that has led me here. So I shared that with you all. And my second video was about how you can gain insight and basically like intuition on finding your purpose and what you need to do as a daily practice, so that will strengthen and that will get better, and you will get more God winks, more signs from God if you're on the right or wrong track. And I think I mentioned that I heard the word desert 9 times in the past 2 days. And that's not a word that I hear every day. I know it's a pretty common word. But so I looked it up, and it meant, being in a place with no distractions and seeking clarity. And, that's really kind of what I'm doing right now. And so it kind of let me know, Gretchen, you're on the right path. This is where you need to be. So, and I feel like by me spending that time in the mornings with God in the quiet and listening and taking time for him is what brings me that clarity. So I hope that will benefit you as well. Some of you probably already do it. But if you don't, I hope that you'll try and that it will bring some joy and some peace to your life. Okay, so what we're going to talk about now is getting the negative people off of your path to purpose, right? It's a journey, it's a path. And I know that you're probably all saying, what? Negative people? I don't know any of those, right? Okay, so we all have to experience negative people. There are different levels, for sure, of negative people. So, and negative people can be a family member. I know that because I'm such a strong believer and I have so much faith, there are some people in my family that don't speak to me because they think that I am crazy, because when the Lord speaks to me, I follow him, and sometimes it doesn't make sense. It's been like that my whole entire life. And so they don't really interact with me much. Okay, so negative people can be someone in your faith journey. It can be someone that you're in a relationship with, unfortunately. It can be someone that you work with. It can be someone that you ran into at Walgreens and they said something and you've just been thinking about it the rest of the day. Okay, so negative people can be a lot of different things, a lot of different ways, a lot of different extremities. So how I kind of look at in my mind, this is not giving it a lot of gray area. It does have a lot of gray area, but pretty much positive people, for the most part, are trying to do good, right? So we're all sinners. If you're a believer, you know, we stumble. Oh my goodness, I have to ask God's forgiveness every morning and every night for silly things that I've done, right? So, but for the most part, I feel like I have good intentions and I am trying to do good, okay? And then the negative person is, I'm not talking about, you know, you always have people that you're around and they kind of complain. They complain about the weather. They complain about, you know, if you're there with them somewhere, they find every little thing to complain about. I don't necessarily consider that a negative person. I think that person is just maybe making conversation, right? So I don't know if I would consider that necessarily a negative person. The way I look at negative people is they kind of have motives to do bad, right? They have schemes. They're thinking of ways to do things that are bad. These are kind of the negative people that I am relating to. All right, so let's get to it. All right, so negative people. First of all, you have to know how to identify a negative person. Okay, so a negative person is always going to have a motive. Okay, they're always going to have a reason why they came and talked to you, or a reason why they've done something, right? I like to say it's a scheme, right? They're always scheming. They're always up to something, and they're really good at it. So if you're like me and you try to do good for the most part, you're going to get played by them for a good little bit, right? Especially if you're interacting with them quite often, you probably will get played by them for a while because you're thinking that they're coming to you and they're doing these things for the same reason you would go to them, right? And so you're not even really thinking about what's happening. Okay? But then if you're spending that alone time with God in the mornings, you start having some intuition. You start having some discernment about this person, right? And you're like, am I crazy? Is this happening? Is this person trying to really do this? I feel like, right? And then you start second guessing yourself, like, these are weird things that are happening. What's going on here? Okay. So one example I can give you about like they have a motive is, one time I had someone come up to me and they asked me to look up something on my phone. And you know how normally like when you go into your phone and like you're putting in your password and your username and that thing, like I know if I'm beside someone and they're doing that, which doesn't happen very often, but I'll kind of look away just, you know, because it's like a privacy thing. I don't feel comfortable looking at the screen when someone is doing that. That's just me. And this person was looking at my screen and looked at it long enough to where they would know what my password was. And so I thought, oh, okay. They kind of came in here to get my password. And this is after many interactions with this person. It's, you know, so it took some time for me to kind of figure out. It wasn't just me being judgmental or this happening for the first time. This is just one example of several things that had happened with this person, okay? So number one was they always have a motive, okay? A negative person, they will try to actually destroy you, okay? And I know that sounds very extreme, but usually when you're dealing with a negative person, they will kind of not only will they try to, come over to you and have motives for things, right? They will also try to have like other people involved, right? To where it's not just them, but where they get a group of people who don't like you, which maybe, this is where I kind of need to talk about energy. And if you don't really know how to read a person's energy, because I did not until I started listening to certain podcasts on YouTube, and there were several podcasts that I listened to about people's energy. Okay, so you can really tell a person by their energy. Okay, so let's say for example that usually you can also tell by like kind of how they carry themselves. Like if let's say that they are, and let's say that they're like 40 years old, but they look 60, right? Because they don't sleep well at night, because they're usually scheming, or they have a motive for things. So they don't sleep very well in the evenings. So they might look much older than their age, right? Their skin might look dry. Their skin might look kind of unhealthy because they're not sleeping well. You can actually see the wear and tear of what they're doing on their physical features. Okay. And then also, like when I talk about energy, like I said, if you don't know how to read people's energy, then you can search it on YouTube, and it'll have different avenues for you to learn about people's energy. But that will also really help you. You'll be able to read their energy, and how they kind of feel about you, and what they're trying to do also. One example, even though, okay, so I'm not dating, but one example that I can think of is an energy of a person might be like, let's say that you're talking to someone, and you're dating, right? Or you might even be married. And the energy of this person is you hear from this person like once a week, and then you see each other, and then you don't hear from them for 3 or 4 more days, or another week, or sometimes it might be 2 weeks that go by. Okay. And you're thinking, is this person into me? Like, what's going on? What's happening? Well, they're not into you. Okay. Because their energy is showing you that they just want to keep you over here for some reason, but they're really not into you. Okay. So that's probably one of the best ways I can think of with energy. So never ignore a person's energy. They will try to use their energy to destroy you. Okay. And so the first thing is they'll always have a negative motive. The second thing is they will try to destroy you. Their third thing is they will talk about your past. Okay. And this is kind of surprising. It might catch you off guard, but pay attention to it. So it might be like someone will say, that you're just having a vague conversation with them, and they might say, you know what, I talked to such and such that you used to work with, and they said blah 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 blah. And I'm thinking, that's not really healthy, right? That sounds like a scheme, right? They're just admitting a scheme to you. Well, you know what? Like I said, I'm not perfect, and I'm always trying to work on things. So I'm not going to disagree with it. But really, anybody could call somebody or find somebody in somebody's past that doesn't like them and then say what they said. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's really kind of stupid, I think, when people share things like that. But that's how you'll know that this person is a negative person. They have talked to someone in your past, and they are telling you that in a negative way to try to bring you down, right? Because this person is not just complaining about the weather. This person is actually trying to bring you down, right? Why is that person doing that? It's usually their own insecurities, something that they have, that they're broken. They have a broken conscience. They haven't gone to therapy. They haven't healed, something like that. And they're just using you as an outlet for, you've triggered something in them, and it's just an outlet for them to do that to you. Okay, so far I've said that they always have a motive, that they try to destroy you, that they talk about your past, okay? And then this one is a really, really, really big one, okay? You gotta hear this one. This one is the big one. They talk about your faith, okay? And this can happen in two different ways. This can happen where they say, you know, I used to be a believer and I went to church for 15 years and this happened and I shut the door on God and blah, blah, blah. So it might be something like that. Now, like I say, this is a characteristic that might just be a person talking, right, to you, and they're opening up to you and they're sharing something with you. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about this person has all of these things going on, okay? So they might say that to you, and they're using that to try to deviate you from God, right? This person is trying to destroy you. So they're trying to get you away from God, okay? So that's what their motive is. It's not someone sharing their faith walk with you. It's not someone saying, hey, like, I've had this issue with God, can you help me? This is an actual, they have a motive. They're trying to separate you from God. They're trying to pick on your faith. They're trying to make you feel bad for your faith, okay? And so that's something else they'll do. Or another way this comes into play with, they will talk about your faith. They will point out your faith, is they might go to church. They might actually go to church. They might reference the church as a positive thing, but knowing the person, you're thinking, there is no way this person is a believer. Not by the way they act, right? So they're going to church, they're referencing the church, they're talking about the church, but their actions are not matching up that they are a church goer, right? So that's another way that you know they're a negative person. So they always have a motive. They try to destroy you. They talk about your past. They talk about your faith. Now, so that's a few things so far. So what do you do? What do you do when you've got someone in your life like this? You just ignore them. Oh gosh, but it's so hard, isn't it? You just ignore them. Because if their job and their motive is to destroy you and you just ignore them, guess what? They'll just move on to someone else. It's just like if a snake is out in the wild, right? And they're going after a mouse and they can't catch it, right? And the mouse runs off. What do? They go to another mouse, a slower mouse, and try to get that one. So, you know, the best thing is to do is just to ignore it. And I know that's really hard, okay? So, in saying that, right, you ignore them, well, that negative person does not like that. They do not like that at all, right? Because these strategies that they've learned to use have worked on other people. And maybe these other people have argued with them and given them what they wanted, right? But this is different. This person's ignoring me. Oh, I don't like that. So what do? Now they're going to tell lies about you. And now they're going to go higher above you. Like, let's say if you have rankings in the job that you're at, they're going to go to your supervisor, right? Or they're going to go to other people and say things about you to other people and have like a little posse against you, okay? So then they're going to start telling lies because, oh, all these other things aren't working, right? So now I'm going to tell lies. It's such an exhausting experience for the person, the negative person. It's really pitiful. I really feel sorry for people that live their lives in this way. And I don't want you to be around them on your purpose journey. So this is why I'm telling you about this and the characteristics of negative people, so that you can have a good finding your purpose journey. Because I care about you, right? And so all me doing these YouTubes and the people watching, y'all are my new friends as I try to figure this out. And I care about you, and it's hard. And we've all been in experiences like this. And so I just want you to be mindful of it. Okay, so what we've said so far is, number one, they always have a motive. Number two, they try to destroy you. Number three, they talk about your past. Number four, they talk about your faith, right? Might even pick on you for being a believer. Number five, they tell lies about you. And number six, they confront you with mean words and telling you things that are all your fault, right? Well, we know in life that things happen, right? And usually when things happen, there's very different reasons why things happen, right? So, it's a combination of things. It's never just one thing to cause another thing, right? So there's not really going to be, you are not going to be something that it is all your fault of. But these negative people, they've done this for a long time, and they know what they're doing. And so they're going to expose you to these words and this type of talk to try to bring you down. So let's say, for example, that something happens at work, right? Something that happens at work, and this person is going to say that because this event has happened, even though you might not even know about the event or what's going on, but because this event has happened, that it's your fault. You're the reason why all this happened, right? And they'll say things like that to you to bring you down. So just really make sure as you're on this path that if these things are happening to you, these combination of things, it might not be every single thing that I've mentioned, but maybe this person is doing 3 or 4 of these things or all of these things, just ignore them, right? You can't really, sometimes you can't, if you can get away from them, do, right? Because it's not healthy for you. It's not sustainable for you. But if you can't, then just ignore them and know, because you know these characteristics, that this is a very negative person. And guess what? They're probably really sad. They're probably very broken. They're probably hurting. They're probably, like I said, they probably can't sleep at night. They're probably very sad people. So just have pity on them and feel bad for them, and you just keep going on the path that you have been chosen to be on. Okay, so I hope this is helpful. I hope this has helped you in some way. Like I said, the Lord put it on my heart to say it. So I hope that I have said it and it has spoken to someone that needed to hear this. So the next video, I'm going to be talking about something to do on your purpose journey is to find your creative spot. Okay, so we're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about creativity, how to be creative, and how this is going to help you find your purpose in 30 days. Okay, so thanks so much for watching. Please like this video, even share it, and that way more people will get to see it and it will help them as well. And I hope you have a great day. And by the way, stir up love today. Okay. Bye-bye.